we started the show with Alex and Jen making fun of me, and yeah. So I figured this let's just might as well record what they're making fun of. What are you guys teasing me about already?
I
Um,
wish I wish it would have captured my oh shit because that was a real
I think it.
reaction.
I think it did. I think that was
Oh,
the
it did.
first 1 second of this.
It-
We're talking about your palm tree hairstyle from high school and how you posted it yesterday on Facebook. So if anybody's on Facebook, please go ahead and check that out so you can laugh with us.
yes,
If
it
anyone's
was.
on Facebook.
It
Oh,
was
I guess Gen
posted
Z might
18
not
out.
be.
No, that's what I
They
mean. We might
might
have some
not.
Gen Zs
I mean,
or
did
people
you link
that.
it to IG? Is it on your
What?
IG as well?
I don't know, honestly. So I heard you say it, but like
It
for
didn't
some reason I'm
register.
getting all these notifications on my computer just popping up, and I'm trying to X them out. So I was a little
Gotcha.
distracted. I can't multitask. So, anyways, guys, welcome to the podcast. If you're listening for the first time, this is a new
Welcome,
real estate
welcome.
roadmap. We talk about a bunch of different ways to run and do your real estate business. That's a little different from the norm, from the gurus. And all three of us here have been working this process for quite some time, and we like to teach it back and have some other fun and shenanigans.
When we eventually get to teaching,
Yeah, we usually just talk smack. Well, my name is Chris Cusimano, and my co-host are
Jen Konikoff
and Alex Mendel.
Alex Mendel and Jen Kodikoff, the two coolest people on this planet, besides you listening, of course, and watching.
and his
Or-
wife.
You always got to
I-
throw that in there,
I got you.
Yep, Kenna, we got you. Haven't met her, but I hear great things.
huh? So, so what they're talking about on Facebook, I guess, and on Instagram too. I put it. So what happened was I was at the gym yesterday, and I got an email
you.
say I was at the gym. Yeah, I was at the gym, and I got an email saying that someone tagged you into like at classmates.com or one of those things. Someone tagged you somewhere, and then I pulled it up. It was my freshman year of high school yearbook photo,
Wow.
and I'm like, I don't look too friendly there. So
You look far. I'm like I'm still staring at you. You do not look friendly, and
Let
you
me
have
see.
a mixture of like Eminem meets and Sync hair.
oh, thanks.
Just imagine a palm tree on your head. You know that? Remember those like, what was it like the side part with the? Well, I wish they had a name for it.
I don't know,
Uh,
but
It's the
you know
koozie
what?
cut.
It's a
The
koozie
koozie cut.
cut.
Did you ever watch Prison Break?
Yes, I did.
Remember the freshman? Was that his name? The nickname
Mm-hmm.
for the guy who snitched on? Remember, he was like a little white boy.
I
know
don't
if you
remember.
remember.
That's just like 20 years ago, bro.
I know.
That's when I could binge watch Netflix and Prison Break for 2 hours. That was pre kids.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Uh,
But
Tweener.
so
That was his name.
so what I did was I was like, you don't look friendly there. So I took the photo and then I ran it through ChatGPT and I said, can you make I don't know what the exact prompt was, but something was to the effect of, can you make a more modern, friendlier version of this, please? And it made a Hispanic man, a very handsome one.
He's-
I don't know if you guys can see this.
oh, it does. Yeah, definitely with the little palm tree version here.
Yeah.
Alex forgets this is a podcast, so let me help you out
Well,
there.
that's why people go on YouTube. Whoever's on YouTube, look up or listening to this Prison Break tweener. Google that, and you will see Chris Cusimano if you're not friends with him on Facebook or Instagram. But you should.
That was me. That was the tweener.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, at least I have the cojones to post stuff out there. I don't care.
I'll
Like,
post
it's
mine.
whatever.
I
Yeah,
was a
who
white
cares?
boy. My
You
jeans
still
were
are.
below my butt.
So
No.
those
White
are-
boy with an I at the end. No, it's with a Y spelled correctly.
BOI.
Yes. Pants sagging. You know,
Oh.
5 sizes too big. Tall T. And I hung out with some questionable people.
Yeah, we all made bad decisions. But Alex, did you go to? There was a store in the Sawgrass Mall. If you're not familiar with Southeast Florida, there's a huge outlet mall called the Sawgrass Mall, and there was a store in there that catered to people
Urban.
like you and myself, who spent money on clothes that we shouldn't be wearing. Did you
Um,
go to that store?
7 sizes too large.
Do you remember the name of the store?
No, of course I don't. But I remember it was across from the Sports Authorities, and I used to go there whenever I had extra money, and even before I could drive.
See,
I
this
would-
is how I know you and I were 2 different levels of white boy. You went to
Okay.
the Sawgrass Mall. I
Uh-huh.
went to the Swap Shop in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yes.
So just to show you where
So
my
you always
life
said
was,
I had higher standards, is what you're saying.
I just hung out
It-
with the wrong people. That's where we shopped.
I never been to that swap shop, the one on Sample.
no,
Sunrise. That
Oh,
you think
Sunrise.
about,
Oh, I've
okay.
been there.
Yeah.
That yeah, okay. Yeah,
I used to
yeah.
get my fake Tupac
Clearly,
shirts there.
Yeah, and purple tints that peeled a month later.
Yeah. So I shopped there too.
Yeah, or SpongeBob smoking a blunt.
What a waste of time.
we used to buy our ganebas there. Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
What a
Probably
waste.
love
The
it.
things you buy, the thing is to buy when you're younger, just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh,
I bought a car and put rims on it that probably cost more than my car. And just to like, and you're like, wow. And when you're as an adult, you look back like, why do we? It was so stupid. I guess adults now still
100%.
do it, but
I mean, I used to have an LED belt buckle.
No.
Remember
Did it
those?
say stuff?
Yeah, I changed it every time I went out.
I don't know.
I
I
s-
guess I've been
I
with
saw
my
the
husband for a
spinner.
long time.
That's
I
true.
don't- I guess. I don't know. I never
Yeah.
noticed these things on people.
Well, I was like 15, so
All right.
you
not
didn't have
not in my
LEDs when you
30s.
were 15.
Me?
Maybe a little older.
I was 15 in 2005. They definitely that's when they were a thing.
You were born in the 19. You were born 1990.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I think-
I thought you were older.
I think
I'll
Chris
take
just
that.
realized. Chris just felt a little old. I saw
I
it on his
did.
face. He's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
wait.
dude, I'm looking because I keep looking at myself, and I'll be honest, I don't like the way I'm aging, and like, but now I don't feel bad because how much older am I than you then? You were nine. I mean, yeah, 8 years ago I was a stud. So it's all right.
There you go.
I-
Just wait for it.
All right.
I
So
had my.
so it's nothing but downhill from here. Got it.
That's it. It's all gone, bro. It's all gone. Say bye.
I went to my physical this morning, and I haven't had a physical in ages.
Oh,
And
God.
yeah, I was like, what am I like? What are you gonna ask me here? What are we gonna do here? She's like, did you fast? I was like, yeah. She's like, we're gonna take some blood work. I'm like, oh, shit. Oops. So anyway, she's asking me all these questions, and she's like, do you have a lot of stress? Do you have like anxiety? How do you feel you're aging? All these questions. I had to sit. I was like, I'm great. Should I not be? Like,
Wait,
like all these
wait.
depressing questions. At this age, am I supposed to be feeling like down on myself? Apparently, there's lots of people out there because otherwise it would not be a question on this physical.
100%.
Yeah, I was a lot of depressing sounding questions, but I mean, personally, guys, I guess I'm thriving in comparison.
Well, good for you.
You are.
Thank you.
Well, even when you take your kid to to their doctor, where's like a pediatrician, they have a question is, do you feel safe at home? Does your partner force you to do sexual things against your will? And you're like, yeah, my kid, every time we go, I got to fill it out. I'm like, I kind of wish, but no.
I mean, that's a good way to make sure everything's good at home. Wow. I did not know that.
Me
Yeah.
either. What kind of? I guess.
Where are
it's-
you going?
Yeah.
Sawgrass
Why is this-
PDH. Is it Sawgrass? Yeah. It's
Is it
Sawgrass
in the
PDH.
mall? Is it where the
Is it-
is it where the
It's in the swap shop.
Yeah.
It's next to your
Don't be
Tupac
hating on
shirts.
the swap shop. Okay, don't be hating. They have a wonderful flower section there that I still go to.
And then when you
Oh.
leave, they give you an LED belt buckle.
100%.
I saw a pediatrician today, and I wasn't
Oh,
molested by
that's
my
so-
spouse.
Oh my god. Terrible.
So,
Hey.
anyways,
That is a real issue. That happens. I don't feel like we shouldn't joke about that one.
okay.
I watched too much SV. I was watching SV yesterday. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
I don't think we ever talk about real estate on this show anymore.
That's what I'm saying. We don't. It's just us shooting the shit. Maybe we should shoot the shit before, like for 30 minutes before it, and then hit record.
No, this is more interesting to me.
This is yeah.
So it's actually weird. So I saw this morning. I'm watching. I have just YouTube just randomly. How? What?
Jen.
What kind of professional are you, Jennifer?
sorry.
With your 1990 ringtone, by the way.
Oh,
But
I don't even know how to change that. I'm
I know I
sorry.
don't change mine either. Mine's the same. It's like who cares? You're so high D. It works. But anyway, so I always have like I have in the background just like random YouTube things just automatically playing. And for some reason, a Tom Ferry one came up, and he has like a professional podcast. All they do is talk about real estate and marketing and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I lost interest real quick. I don't know. I don't feel like. Let's be real. Like if you're just talking about real estate over and over and over again, how much can you really talk about?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's true. I feel like we curate our social profiles and our the way that we portray ourselves, not as real estate agents. We're people, we're family, we're husbands, we're wives, we're parents who happen to do real estate. So I feel like the fact that we always start this or also end this as just people,
Do the whole thing as a
as people, be like, oh, by the way, tune in next week where we'll probably also not talk about real estate.
We always get to like 49 minutes. I'm like, and we didn't even cover what we were going to cover today.
Yeah, every single time.
But I do. Okay, let's talk about. Okay, so what we are gonna do, real quick. I'm gonna try to pivot us. So we are starting to bring in more local small business guests onto the show for a number of reasons. So if you're a real estate agent, you're like, why would you do that? Why is it on your podcast? So I'm gonna talk about that, and I have a million things I can talk about. We can talk about. We can whatever. But the big reason is, like, right before COVID hit, I wanted to try to generate another way of meeting people. I have what's called my Dream 300 database, and I wanted to level it up. I call it top leveling, when you kind of get rid of the bottom, so you're not really participating with you too well, and then you want to add it with other people. Anyways, I didn't really know how to do that all that well because I never left my house. So I always have to mask everything I do as work. So what I did was I created my own. I first researched BNI, the Business Networking Group, and they want you to pay and you have all these rules and all. I'm like, why don't I just create my own networking group? How hard can it be? So basically, what it is, I curated a list of all local businesses. Like I put like ice cream shop and chiropractor and blah 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 blah. Made a whole list, and then I reached out to I went in person to a lot of them, and I'm like, hey, I'm not sure if you're interested in this, but it could get you free business. I'm not selling you anything. Here's what I got. I have a new business networking group, and I'd like you to consider being a part of it. There's only one business per genre, I guess you can say, per business type inside of the group. So there's only one ice cream shop, one coffee shop, one pizza place inside of the group. And we're going to meet once a month at random locations. It could be your pizza shop, Mr. Pizza Owner. And basically, we're just going to exchange cards, let each other know that we exist, have a Facebook group, and just give each other referrals.
Chris,
And it worked out pretty well.
Before you go any further, for anybody who's interested in doing this type of broadening their sphere, what are some things that you guys discussed in these meetings, right? So like you got your team, boom, you got your ice cream guy, you got your plumber, you got your AC. Oh my god, my coffee's gonna spill.
Yeah.
Like so you have all these people, everybody's in a room, and now we're staring at each other.
It is weird. I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't unawkward. So you have
what's something to drum it up,
Well, I'm going to be clear about this. We only had 3 meetings before COVID knocked us out of this game. I did get 5 or 6 transactions in that short amount of time, actually. But anyways, yeah, it was actually pretty lucrative. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So to answer your question, Jen, you have to be the leader in that situation because everyone's just going to stare. So I was very easy about it. I was just like, hey, I know that I called it out. I know this might be awkward. You don't know people. You're at this building and you're trying to generate business. What I recommend you doing is just do what I'm doing now. Come up, say what you do, what you want to, if you're comfortable with it, what you do, what you offer, and then go around and hand out cards while the next person is saying what they're doing. And then if you feel like you want to strike a conversation with people, great. And if you want to just go home, then go home. The point is not going to be awkward here, is to build connections if you're comfortable. And that was the spiel. And then people were like, oh, okay. And then what happens is, not everyone, but most people, someone will go up and then someone else will go up and someone else. And then like, oh, I guess I got to go up too. And then but some people didn't. And then you just gave out cards and they connected on the Facebook group after. And then after the meeting, like, hey, thanks for coming out. Here's a list of all the people who showed up. Here's their contact info. And then I'll write them a thank you card for showing up, my business card in it, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll post something in the group like, hey, who wants to host the next meeting, and any recommendations? Do you have any friends or other people that you know with small business who would like to join? And it was like a 5 or 6 month thing before COVID hit. We did like 3 meetings maybe. And yeah, I got like 5 or 6 transactions out of it personally.
How many people do you feel like you had in the group?
I would say that, on the Facebook group, probably, I don't know, like 40 maybe, but showing up to the meeting, I don't know, 15, 20.
I
It's still
wonder.
pretty solid.
Yeah, I wonder if someone can take this and kind of do like a hybrid version of that, right? You know, do a once a month meetup, and or every other month they can do a Google Meets like coffee hour. Everybody, have your coffee, whatever. We'll chit chat, shoot the shit. But also, of course, if your business has any promotions,
Mhm.
and push out, uh, you know, kind of give everybody a format. Hey, we're meeting this month. Try to have whatever promotions you got going on, so we can share. We can push it out to the people we know,
Yep.
and vice versa. So that's an idea for anybody who wants to do that in person and Google Meets. I know you prefer Google Meets. I mean, at this point,
Yeah. I mean, why wear dress pants if you don't have to? I'm not right now. So
All right, stand up.
I will.
Party.
Here, for everyone.
We got basketball shorts.
I got my sweatpants.
There it is.
Ah.
Oh, it's great. It's gray sweatshirt season. I forgot. We're sweatpants season.
I had to make sure because when you have sweatpants, you have that it could open, so you have to be careful. I was like, I better be careful.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Yeah.
What's flopping in the wind?
But let's think about let's focus. So let's think. So this goes back to us having guests on here. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we are revamping. Well, Jair on our team, go get our hungry guy. He's like, yeah, I want to bring that back. How do I bring that back? And I told him all that stuff, and I'm not really sure where he is with it. But what we started doing is with some of our content is mentioning other local small businesses in our content. And I've already spoken to the owners of How You Doing, the pizza shop. They want to come on. And next week, or the week after? I can't recall. I think it's the week after, actually. The owner of Gray's Craze is coming on, Cindy Connor.
That's next week. Remember, not this week.
No, next week is another guest, and then the week after that is her.
Dang it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so 2.0 of that version is because I didn't have a podcast then. And I didn't make content like that then, but now we do. So if you can, so you understand these small business owners, they need help, just like we need help. They need business and we need business. So if you're going out there with your expertise on marketing, if you have it, or just your work ethic and going, hey, I want to help you get business. What small business owner is going to say no to that? Right. And then when you're doing these things to get them business, your goodwill naturally goes up. And when you do good things for good people, they want to do good things back for you, like refer you business, right? So with that, that's why she's coming onto the podcast. So if we can now introduce the local area of this cool new business or this cool business that's here, and she can give an exclusive discount over the quote unquote air just to them, to the listeners, they get a benefit from listening and finding out new stuff. And she gets a benefit, or the business owners, by introducing her business to people who didn't hear her before. And then we can chop up her clips like we do normally, and she can use it on social media for her stuff. Now, if you have a business to business network, why wouldn't you, and you had a podcast, why wouldn't you invite all these local businesses to do just that? Where they don't have to think about a podcast. They don't have to think about content. They don't have to think about it. They can just come on, talk about what they have, give exclusive offers, and meet new people. Why not?
Yeah, it's like the Go-Giver. You give as much and kind of hope that it all comes back to you. And, the fact that you're able to help these businesses grow, you'll be the first person that they think about. And
we do amazing things on the Homes by Kuzi team. Alex, you might want to consider.
Yeah, anybody that wants to join, there's a discount code that's going to be your first 3 transactions, you get 100% of your commission.
Oh man! Speaking of which, man, so on our team, you can scale up. You have a scaling split, and when you get to a certain point, the team actually loses money. So nice. Yeah, well, it's a balance. Whatever, we're not getting into the weeds.
No, I get it.
You use the balance, So if you get to a certain point, you lose. The team doesn't make anything. The team member highly benefits from. And we got a new listing from one of those agents yesterday, and I looked at the numbers like, because you're excited for a new listing, but then you're like, at the same time, you're like, we're not going to make anything. But then you get a listing from the same day. We got a listing from another team member currently at a different split, and that makes up for it. So our team's a little differently. It's it's ebbs and flows of profitability in different situations, and sometimes you take losses. It's just the way it is.
Maybe if you want to send me something, maybe we'll talk. You
Oh,
keep getting me. You're hacking away at me.
So there's
starting to work.
He chips.
I
I
do.
want to make you lose money. I want to make you lose money on me.
I do.
I
I
used
will.
to get messages from Chris at like 5 a.m. I'm working out. I'll get on my watch. They're like, yo, let's talk. I'm like, I'm working out. Bye.
Well, it's like let's be real. In this the way that we do business here for us, it's all about, for me, it's all about integrity, hardworking,
Yeah.
just solid people, and slightly experienced. You don't have to be overly experienced. That's such a rare, and I hate to say this because it sounds bad, but that combination where, and also no ego, right?
Yeah.
That combination is so freaking
I'm not
rare.
gonna be good for you guys then.
But you don't have it because I realized
don't-
why you have an ego. You were born in the '90s. But once you get a little older and get a couple more grays, you're gonna humble a little bit.
Oh my god, let me tell you, the amount of grays that I have in my beard and my chest and my nose hairs is insane.
Nose hairs.
Yeah, man.
I know what we're getting you for Hanukkah.
Rogaine. Oh,
I was gonna go with the
Oh, I have
nose
one.
thingy.
Okay.
I have it. Yeah,
Is it
You know,
Rogaine for your hair? What is Rogaine?
yeah, facial hair.
No,
Isn't it like you
it's-
have to
it's-
color it?
It's men's coloring.
Oh, it's dye. I was
Like dye.
thinking of like,
Oh no, I'm thank God.
yeah, I was gonna say you have a good hairline.
Oh, whew. Scared.
Yeah, I know. That's one of my things too. Like I'm I turned 43 in a couple weeks, and I'm like, oh, at least I got my hairline.
That's kind of. I'm kidding.
What are you talking about? That thing's solid, bro.
No,
But
it is. It's pretty
anyone
solid.
that's listening, please transition to YouTube at this time. We're seeing a lot of
Honestly, this is a very YouTube focused
episodes.
podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you were right.
You know?
Between Tweaker and us looking at our grays
Yeah,
and,
but I don't
and our
like
cameras.
I don't like my haircut recently. I was telling Jen about it. My guy went too high up. What are you barking at? My dog's barking, as you can hear. Should I mute my mic? I'm gonna move my dog. You guys chat about Rogaine.
Okay.
Have you ever Rogan?
Absolutely not. No, my dad, he's how old is 70?
Mm-hmm.
And he still has like a lot of pigment in his hair.
Oh, solid. You
Like-
got some good stuff coming your way.
Yeah, he's like still 50% black hair. Thank God.
Nice. You know,
At
I was
70.
I feel like this is an excellent transition back to real estate when it comes to like almost like
Yeah.
catfishing with our photos that we have as real
Oh
estate agents.
my gosh. There is one real estate agent that I know of. He's a fantastic agent, probably does like $30 to $50 million a year. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He has no hair at all, bald. Not even like a George Costanza like side thing.
Not
But
even a little patch.
his headshot on his signs is more luscious than my hair. Like it is a thick head of hair, and then
Yeah.
you see him and you're like, dude, come on. It's
Listen,
time.
It's time. It's your cat.
His headshot might be older than mine, than me
Oh,
as a
okay.
human.
You know what? Maybe this is like a talking point for them. I mean, I've only had my hair color changed semi-recent, so it's a talking point for me and my people, where it becomes almost like an icebreaker. Maybe it's an icebreaker for them. I don't know.
Maybe.
the-
I mean, he's kind of got a dry personality, so I can't imagine really
Okay.
self-deprecation like that.
Yeah. Well, then in that case, for any newbies, please make sure you update every 10 years. I don't know what's the
Update your
new,
headshot every I feel like it
5
should be
years?
every 5 years because we're all aging quicker, especially if you're losing that much hair.
In real estate, we age faster. I feel like.
100%. I can attribute every gray hair and wrinkle to a real estate transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's all I look at now is my wrinkles.
Oh,
I mean,
I've
don't
been
look too
looking at my
hard.
smile line. Yeah, because you're making it worse if you look too hard.
Anyways, speaking of headshots, so I'm updating the Coach Vacuzi website, and I did use a recent shot, and I really wanted to like get in there and Photoshop some things out, but I kept it real.
Which one? The one I just saw this morning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. It's so you. It's you now.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see it. I need a new headshot. I've lost like 10, 15 pounds. My face is less.
You're taking a lot of those nude shots on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I'm single life
Maybe.
now, so I got to make sure that girls know I'm not a fatty McFat anymore.
You know what? while during this journey, what led you from A to B? What was like you felt was your biggest um like game changer? Food, obviously, like
Has to
Oh
be
wait,
food.
food.
fitness journey. Oh,
Yeah, fitness journey. Sorry, I
yeah.
thought we were all on the same
No, I
page.
didn't know. Anyway, it's
Sorry, too much
100%.
caffeine.
So the saying goes, abs are made in the kitchen. You can do
Always.
a million crunches, but you'll never see an ab. I've
Mm-hmm.
been slacking on my working out since probably like October 1st. I probably only had, I usually do like 4 workouts a week. I've only had about 13 workouts since November 1st, not October 1st, November 1st. So
Okay.
I'm like a lot less, but I'm still losing weight because I'm still eating the way that I should be eating, as
Mm-hmm.
well as um, water. Water intake is the biggest factor in any sort of bodily change that you need to go through. If you're feeling sluggish, drink more water. You were mentioning you did blood work. One of my friends got their blood drawn. That she also did it,
Mm-hmm.
and the person that was drawing the blood was like she was having an issue because her blood was too thick because she
Mm-hmm.
was too dehydrated,
Blood was
and
too
she
thick.
always complains about always being tired, lethargic. I'm like, yeah, no wonder you're tired. Your body's working overtime just to push the blood out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was always curious. I was like, all right, you burn fat. What happens to it? Right? Like, where does it go? So I Googled it. Turns out it is secreted through urine, your
Mm-hmm.
sweat, and your breath. So if you
Didn't know
smell,
about the breath.
yes, if
Huh.
you smell and you have bad breath, and you take care of your teeth and you have good oral hygiene and you're in a fitness journey, that means you're doing a good job.
Hmm.
So that's why also you should always drink enough water so your urine is clear. It
Oh,
should never be a color.
I shoot for that. I've given this topic to my kids. My kids will look at their pee. Oh, I gotta drink water. I'm
Mhm.
good. I
And
swear.
if you wanna make it more hydrating, you take potassium. You can get they have like no salt. So people who can't have too much sodium, so they use potassium salt. You just
Mhm.
put a little bit in your water, and it actually helps um,
Retain.
retain the water and hydrate you better than
Hmm.
just drinking regular water. So I have a thing of no salt at the house. Just sprinkle a little bit in, just the tiniest little salt bit.
It's weird when you start going down this path of health. You just go deeper and I remember that deeper and deeper. I even bought one of these when I was being healthy. These little Lumen devices where you blew into and it told you how if you're burning fat
Oh,
or
that's cool.
carbs and all that.
You say cool, I say nutty.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wouldn't buy it, but it's cool for you.
I mean,
I don't use it. It
I
just sits there.
It's a
But I
nice
mean,
little
you
trinket.
you do go down those paths,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it just
But it goes to show the type of personalities, specifically with the three of us and anybody who takes time to really just focus on themselves.
Hmm.
It's that discipline, right? You know, if you have discipline in mind, body, soul within your own temple, and
Hmm.
you can take that same discipline and take it onto the other scopes of life, such as business,
Yeah.
it's just going to constantly snowball into a wonderful way of life. It's a way of living. It's not a trend. It's not a season. It's a way of
Yeah.
living. So
And
that's really important.
that's why I focused my diet on more of a lifestyle change. It's not like a fad diet. All I do
Hmm.
is um, it started with tracking all my food. I mean, I still track, but I kind of know now after doing this for about 2 years now
Hmm.
what how much calories, protein, fats are in 2 eggs, how much are in oatmeal, how much is a piece of chicken the size of my my fist. So now I kind of know, but in the beginning, I was weighing all my meats, carbs, different food sources. I was finding chicken tenders that are breaded in chickpea flour and air frying that. So
Mm.
my mind, I was still technically eating something guilty, but it had no fat or carbs. It was still just chicken. Or pizzas that had from Trader Joe's, it was only 250 calories. So I know that was good for me in a sense. So I wasn't going crazy, feeling miserable. I could still
You were
have
doing
what I
life.
wanted. Exactly.
Mm.
So so now once you make that lifestyle change, everything follows.
yeah. I don't know about you, but we're busy as heck over here in this household as realtors and so
Mhm.
and family people. So we just do ideal image
Yeah,
and not
whatever.
ideal image. That's a
I
something
do
else.
Factor.
Ideal
nutrition.
ideal
Factor.
nutrition Ideal Nutrition. There's X Factor and there's Ideal Nutrition.
Oh, okay.
But Ideal Nutrition is a local company here, and they deliver every week. And they deliver in this nice little, like all your meals that you select online, and they're always switching up to something new. And we started
Podcast
doing
guest.
that. Huh?
Podcast guest.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. My neighbor 2 houses down, he was heavier not long ago. I don't mind to
Mhm.
say heavy, but he was, you can noticeably heavier.
Mhm.
And
Thicker.
yeah, and then I started doing Ideal Nutrition, and he was doing X Factor meals or Factor X meals, whatever they were called. And then all of a sudden I stopped doing them, and then he started doing Ideal Nutrition, and it was now we're at 5.5 months, and he's like your size in just 5.5 months, Alex. And I'm like,
That's
man,
amazing.
yeah, it is good for him, but it makes me feel guilty. It's like, why didn't I continue on that journey? But I'm back to that, and
Perfect.
so I'm on like week 3 of it, and it
Congrats.
is helpful. It is helpful, man. When you're like, you can just you don't have to think about prepping or whatever, and all the
Mhm.
nutritional values there, and you can
Yep.
pre-select it once a week. You only have to worry about food once a week, and the amount of time it's saved and energy it's saved and thinking it's saved for me, it's just amazing. But my wife, she did something else, and maybe this will interest someone else. She just gets big catering things from like Chipotle. So she'll
Yeah,
get a big
I've seen
bin of big thing of chicken and the rice and whatever and her veggies. And now we have this catering stuff in our fridge, and she
Mhm.
just measures it, scoops it, and
I saw on TikTok, I
I'm
think
down with
Texas
that.
Roadhouse or Longhorn or one of those steak chains, they do the same thing. You can get a whole lot of chicken breast, you can get a whole lot of rice, mashed potatoes, veggies, and it's like, I think it was maybe like 30, $50, like something
it wasn't a lot.
crazy.
It's not a lot.
Yeah. And you could do that. Costco has like pre sous vide meats. You just add the sauce that comes with it, and it's not too high in fats and carbs. It's great in protein.
So
So that's what I do. I use Costco.
So
Just
what
trying
you're
to make my
saying
life easier.
is easy. What you're saying is
Yes.
that these companies have found a way to solve our problems
Yep.
for our busy schedules.
Good
Yeah.
job, Jen.
And you see that transition there? I
love
was
it.
gonna go, and that's our job in real estate. How do we constantly stay ahead of the game by finding solutions to our buyers and sellers' problems?
I was
I
listening-
love it.
So
Yeah.
let's continue that
That's
transition. I was listening to Mark Cuban in one of my YouTube clips earlier that came on randomly. Mark Cuban came on. I like the guy. He just
Me
seems like a
too.
genuinely good guy.
Sometimes.
I know I like him. So he came on. He was talking about why many people fail and how can you get ahead.
Mhm.
And it's nothing like mind blowing, but sometimes you just need to remember it. And he was basically saying that the majority of people just find a least path of resistance now and just just take the easy route. It's easier to play video games now. It's easier to watch TV than it is to develop product, service, unique offers for your clients, or just to read a book and learn something and apply it and take risk. But what's also easier, when I just mentioned a second ago, is not taking risk and just being like, so the result of not taking risk is not getting anywhere. You can't grow and succeed if you don't take risk. So I was just listening to that, and I'm like, and that's a good. You just hit it, Jen. Is by taking risk and doing things like changing your product line, elevating your service, looking into how to elevate your service is what helps people stand out. It's not hard. It's just outworking and outthinking and taking
Mhm.
more risk than everyone else. And that's kind of true. And he said something else in that little mini interview I watched. It was he can spot. They can say you can spot if someone's going to be a good worker or entrepreneur or business person right off the bat, like in a couple minutes, an easy
Yeah.
spot. And I have to say this about that. And this sounds really bad, but I think I get spotted too, but I still give everyone a shot. And I'm usually right at the end of the day. You can just kind of tell like who has the cojones
Yeah.
to take these risks and work hard. And not many people do.
It's
It's
true.
unfortunate.
It's what is it? Almost like an analysis paralysis, let's say, where people just get so hung up on all the things that could possibly go wrong,
Mhm.
but they don't focus on, well, what if it goes right? What does this
Mhm.
look like for me? Will this fulfill my big picture and how I want to live my life? And being stuck in that scared phase is what's holding everybody back. Of course you're scared, but it's stay in it and be complacent, or work hard, get out, be scared through the process, sure, but keep pushing so that you can get to your next level.
Well, it's the language of the poor. The scared do the language of the poor, which is the what if, what you just said earlier.
Mhm.
So if many people do this, and you don't have to do this. Once you realize you're doing it, you can easily stop doing it. And it's if you what if everything into the negative, like what if this doesn't work? What if this was a wasted time? What if people think I'm stupid, or what if whatever? Like I hear this a lot with people about creating content. What if Sally thinks this is dumb? What if my friends think this is ridiculous? I hear
And
that all the time.
I hear that too, and I say, okay, but what if it works really well? What
Yeah.
if you get a client out of it?
Mhm.
What if
What if
go
you didn't
viral?
care?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. What if you didn't care?
I always, so I teach a class for KW Ignite for new agents, and I always ask people who here has made content, or who here wants to make content, but you're scared of how you look or sound, and what your voice sounds like. I'm like, congratulations, so does everybody else. You can't change the way you sound.
Mhm.
You can change the way you look, but nobody gives a damn. And at the end of my class, I always show them a video that I did and posted when I was doing bagel reviews. I got back in my car to do my bagel review, and I had a booger on my mustache. And any normal person would cut that out, but I kept it in because
I
that's
would've
me.
cut it out.
What?
I think I would have cut that out.
No, because it made it funnier. It made me more relatable. Who cares, But I show that to show them, who cares if your makeup's not done, your hair looks, you need a haircut. Just do a video, have a booger on your mustache. Who cares?
Why wouldn't you just re-record it without the booger?
He's hung up on this whole booger.
Yeah, I am.
Because I'm gonna send it to you, and then you'll be like, all right, I kind of understand why you kept it in. It showed that I'm normal.
Context matters. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, when I was putting together the negotiating training,
I'll
which you
send it
can
to you
get
right
for
now.
free at coachingbykuzi.com, by the way, it's free training. Just go there, it'll pop up. Anyways, I was watching I was on solo daddy duty on the weekend, so the kids weren't in school, and I'm running around like a Looney Tune. Anyway, I don't know if I told the story here, but maybe I did. Anyways, I'm it's like recycle day and everything, so I ran into the garage, grab all these boxes for recycling, and then but I also have my toddler, my baby inside, and so I'm just running around doing 100 things. And I go and I'm running with the boxes. I hit the frame of the door. The box corner hits me in this eye. And because when the kids were going to go take a nap, I was going to record a video for the training. My whole eye blew up. And I'm like, come on. So basically, I didn't record that video that day because the reason why wasn't that I was worried, because perception is key sometimes. So I know it sounds stupid, but if I'm doing a training video and then a guy you never met, the very first video is him with a big bloodshot red eye and all swollen, you might not really gravitate to it. You might be like, this guy's a mess.
I think that was a good choice.
Yeah.
In that context, right? I mean, if you were now at, I don't know, video 200 or 100, people know who you are. People already know who Cusimano is, what Coaching by Kuzi is.
If I was Gary Vee, it would be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you're already established in their mind. So I can see that.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't know about that booger. But hey, whatever. Do your thing, boo. Do you, boo.
Do you, boo?
Wow.
I'm gonna bumper sticker.
It was on Instagram, whatever.
I know. I think your whole point of it is stop worrying so much about things that don't matter.
God,
Yes.
That was the whole point. But we bust balls here, dude. This is what we do.
This is what we do,
Well,
baby.
Not in Jen's case. In your case, bust balls.
I feel like she has bigger balls than most.
I will say so.
Well,
I can take it.
well, yeah, they're internal.
Yeah,
So
they haven't dropped.
I mean, yes.
maybe one day.
It's 2024. You never know.
Can I just have a sip of my damn coffee, baby?
Oh, I have a, this has, so my buddy who's a mortgage broker and another buddy who is a real estate agent, they were arguing back and forth on Facebook last night. And I was actually kind of, so this isn't real estate related, but I was stuck in a what's that word? When I'm just like,
a conundrum?
Conundrum, where I'm like, I don't know who's right here. So she put a post about, she doesn't like Trump, obviously, and she made a post how she'd rather have this transgender congresswoman who used to be a male share a bathroom than Donald Trump. And she had a picture of both of them with their makeup done, because Trump does wear bronzer, and his makeup was really bad and hers was nice. And she's like, I'd rather have her in the bathroom with me because at least she knows how to lay down foundation. And whatever. it was just like that's what people on the far left. That's what they post, and then whatever.
It's like
And
so unnecessary.
it's a little much.
It's much.
So I was just like, so
Right.
I didn't. So, anyways, but he wrote, she was born with male parts. She does not belong in a male bathroom under any circumstance. And they're going back and forth. And she's like, I disagree, blah, blah, blah. Would you rather have your son in a bathroom with a rapist who, because men, she was referring to Trump, by the way. So Trump's a male. He was into, sexual assault.
I feel like
and all
that it's such a law. It's such a big umbrella, and there's so many layers to that question. There's the religious layer to that question. There's political. There's personal.
That's what I mean. It's like, what's
I don't know what the right answer is. Everybody has their comfort range. That's why now you see bathrooms that are designated for males,
families
females,
too.
and then they had, like, I went to the beach house on Sunday. They had male, female, and they had all genders for one. So I appreciated that. Granted,
I do
and
appreciate that.
typically that's the family bathroom. Like that's where I take my kids. Everybody get in the bathroom, and so I have one stall, one section for all of us. That way I don't have to worry that somebody's going to steal my kid while I'm peeing, because I'm a neurotic person.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You're right. So there's a lot of factors I'm weighing in my head. There's like, okay, she makes a good point. You guys are okay with people who are accused of rape and sexual assault being in the bathroom with your sons or daughters, but you're not okay with someone who has no criminal history who just identifies as a different gender. I understood that. And I understood his point where it was like, yeah, but the lady has a wee-wee, it's she was.
But also, how do we not know that the person that identifies as a female now also wasn't a child rapist? Like, just because they're they change their identity, or no, what I'm saying is, just because somebody knows how to put on makeup doesn't mean that they're a good person.
Exactly. These are all the thoughts that
they don't have mental issues as well. Like, I'm not saying that anybody who identifies as a different gender has mental issues, but
it's just
it's
just a broad. Oh, sorry. It's just such a broad statement to make. I feel like you're walking into the gauntlet, and not in the good way.
Yeah, so I don't even reply, but I was reading through it. I'm like, they both make good points, and they're both missing points, at least in my opinion. But one thing that I wanted to bring up to my buddy who was arguing with her was when remember in the Olympics they had that, I forgot where she was from, what country. It was like that boxer that had high testosterone.
Yeah.
And they, like, all
turns out it was a male.
I don't think she was she?
Turns out.
Well, look that up. But what I was thinking at the time, Jen, I don't know, can you hear the landscapers behind me?
I can hear them.
That's Jen's husband cutting my grass. He's our here. I'll mute it until he gets past my area.
I'll text the company to hurry up. Not. Oh, Alex, I just see your IG here that you sent. Oh my God, I'm dying.
Alex, are you looking? Hold on, but Alex, are you looking it up? I'm kind of curious. Did they stop cutting grass already? Go somewhere else. Okay, there we go. They're stopping. Okay, so at the time that the conversation was going on, it was accepted that this person, I'm gonna say she because at the time it was a she, was born female, just had higher testosterone. So so she couldn't fight. But then he's saying the bathroom, because they have born with certain genitalia, have to be in certain bathrooms. So I'm like, hold on, this is so wild. So is it genitalia, or is it the amount of chromosomes? Is it testosterone? Where is this line? Because it's clearly in two different arguments, you say two different things, and I'm clearly confused. And then I went to bed and I thought about it for like 12 hours because.
I accept all people how they are, who they are.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, so
I can't find it.
It's a hard argument to even have, just because I'm so accepting of who people are. So I believe everybody has the right to believe and feel their version of their reality, and that's on them.
But then again, I feel like it only became an issue in the last 4 years. When people were bored at home and had nothing else to do, and then a certain political party kind of use that as a platform to get more votes.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We're not going to get too political on this.
Let's not get into the weeds.
Mhm.
That was for you, Chris.
Oh no, thank you.
You're welcome.
Her or his name was.
It may
He
Khalif.
He wasn't listening.
I wasn't. I main Khalif.
Mhm.
I just want to know if you're right.
I could be wrong. It could be one of those things. Oh, I saw it on Facebook. You know, I don't
Yeah,
remember where I saw
probably
it. Probably. I typically don't like to speak unless I verify.
She
You know
verified.
what? I'd be interested to know. I know you said most of this younger generation gets their information from TikTok.
Mhm.
I wonder where the most people feel that the information is true,
Mhm.
vetted, and where are they all getting it from? Is it TikTok? I don't know.
I don't know. I
Especially,
feel,
and then real estate for me is where my mind goes to. Like,
yeah.
where does this live?
She was not
I sh-
verified as a male. She was a female.
Should not. Okay, could be wrong.
Yeah, that's why you don't get your news from TikTok.
Well, I don't know if that's where I got it from. Could have been a meme.
Could have been me. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was. Well, anyways, so my point was, and we're gonna wrap it up. It was like he was arguing that because of the genitalia, it should dictate where bathroom you go to, and that in that essence. But when the argument was, well, genitalia, whether you're male or female, when it comes to boxing, that didn't matter then. It was of testosterone level or whatever
Yeah.
it was, or chromosomes, and that's just
Mm.
kind of like, I don't know. That was just like, just amazing how people can.
I always see something that is always fascinating. When people cannot define what a woman is. That, like, tell me, what's a woman?
Jennifer.
Well, I
a
thought you were. Well, what is a woman?
No, okay. So what is a woman?
I feel like you're gonna get what's the word, like philosophical and biblical here. Am I walking into a trap?
No, it's not a trap. It's 100% define a woman.
I've never thought about it, but the concept of a woman, I guess, in my mind, and again, this is where we're gonna start teetering off, is where.
How do we begin this
Oh,
conversation?
I don't
have no
know, but
idea.
I feel
You don't have to answer it if you don't
yeah,
want to.
because I'm about to answer in a way I never thought of, and now I don't want to walk into that because of this conversation.
We can have it. We can have it in a
makes-
text message.
Yeah,
Well-
I really never thought about it, like in terms of what I think is a transgender woman. I think of them as a woman, but in my mind, for me, like what makes me, how do I identify as a woman? Well, I know that I am able to have children, so that gives me an identification as a woman. But again, a person who's transgender and identifies as a woman, I would accept that. That doesn't identify
But they're not
them.
but they're not of able to have children.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
what is a woman?
There we go. Is why I've never really thought about.
There's a scientific answer.
By all means, identify.
It's the chromosomes that you have, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so that's a woman. So, but what is a woman?
Well, you just said it.
Okay,
Typically, these chromosomes.
okay. So, how can somebody feel like a woman when they don't naturally have those chromosomes? And tell me what a woman is.
But that's kind of gets to the whole point. So now there's like check boxes of what a woman or a male is. Right?
It's always been that way.
Yeah, but let's say, but the point is, not everyone checks off all of the boxes on one thing.
Like what?
Well, just for example, the boxing lady, she didn't have, she had more male chromosomes or something to that effect than normal women. Quote unquote,
She's a
normal.
scientific abnormality, I guess. I don't know.
But she
the
didn't
whole
check
thing.
that box. Is my point. That's an empty checkbox, right?
Okay.
On that side of the thing, that goes on the male side of the checkbox. So now we have someone who checks on both sides. What is a woman? Well, is it a woman, right? So that's my whole point. There's a gray area. There's so many like moving parts of this life, and we just got to stop being so.
I mean, science is
judgmental.
science.
What you?
And we can turn it around real quick. We're gonna pivot this boat, okay? With us being in the industry that we're in, that we meet so many different people of backgrounds, beliefs, genders. it's super important that as new agents out there, we do not impose how we feel,
No.
what we believe, whatever it is that that's like a hard press on our clients. We're there to serve at a different capacity, which
Mhm.
is super important. I would never get political with my
No,
people.
never, or anything.
100%. This is
You're
the
there
most
to be a
political I've ever
you're there to be a
get during work.
professional.
Yeah,
You
get
get
the
100%.
that.
I have transgender friends, and just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that I don't understand that they're still good people and they
exactly.
deserve the right to live the way that they feel. And
Mhm.
who am I to tell them how they should feel? Just because
I have
I
one
have
in my
my
family.
beliefs. Yeah, exactly. Same with me.
Not my immediate
Um,
family, I should say.
and I have people I have
That's
people on
not
the
my
other
word.
side. I have other people on the other side of the political spectrum that
Oh
may
yeah.
feel different ways that I do, but that's their prerogative. There's some people that I can't be friends with them. I can't have a life with them. That's not me. You know,
E-
if we can still be
Exactly.
friends, fantastic. Who cares? You know,
But
who you
and
voted for.
that shows emotional and intellectual intelligence that
Mhm.
you can have these conversations, you can have these thoughts, but you can still differentiate and be able to, especially with real estate, serve, right? Because that's what we're here for,
Mhm.
serving.
Yep.
No,
It's not in our job description to argue about
No.
those things. Our
Not at
job
all.
is to
It's only to agree to
be
what
realtors.
their beliefs are to get on the good side.
or just don't say anything.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had these so not like public or anything, but privately with I have friends that sway drastically different than my viewpoint, and we talk. But it's all what's funny in person. Talking in person is very de-escalating. Where you can see people that have their arguments about number of things online, and it seems
Mhm.
so tense. But when you're with someone in person, it's not that way.
It's got a
It's
keyboard warrior.
Oh.
That's
yeah,
why.
it's very de-escalatory or whatever. And so we can pivot this into back in real estate because it's funny you say keyboard warrior. So I'm running ads now, and I'm running a lot of ads and putting a lot more content out. And my God, man, the more you put out there, the more keyboard warriors come out to
Oh my
play.
god.
Yeah.
And they just say stupidest things, dude. And they're always their profile pictures is always like a flower or like like
It's never their face. It's always like
Never.
a quote. It's always their pet. It's always what they had for dinner last
Yeah.
night. It's never. Oh,
it's
so
always the
funny.
same dog too. When it is a pet, it's the same dog.
Same dog. And if
Yeah.
you look at through their past profile pictures, it's the same photo 10 times in a row.
Yeah, with just different frames.
Yeah.
I did see you posted that, and somebody I just immediately underneath did say, "Well, think," something like that. I don't know. It was you got an immediate response after that.
Oh, did I? Was it a hater?
I don't know.
Well,
Is it a hater? You got so excited.
I did. I'm like, let's look it
Where
up.
Lassie? Where Lassie? Where's the hater?
No, but it's just funny. It's just so weird.
So now, Chris, you said the more you put out there, just you do get haters. And now, for anybody that's entering into real estate or entering with the idea of now, okay, I'm going to put content out. You got to be okay with the haters.
Yeah, who cares?
You have to go
You're
in
not
with
serving
that
them.
mindset. Exactly. They're not your
Oh, yeah.
audience. They're not.
100%.
They're not who you're trying
If-
to serve. They're there to
No, I
simply just get that algorithm up. Why not?
Yep.
If we're
So
gonna-
sorry.
What?
Yeah. I see. So it
No,
says,
who is it?
I say, okay, my post said running ads and making content invites interesting people to come out and hate for some reason. And for some reason, the haters never have a real profile picture. It's usually a flower, a cartoon, a plastic dragon, etc. It's really
Is that
weird.
an ad you ran?
No,
Oh.
no, that's a
That's
post.
an incredible
How would
ad.
what ad would that?
Yeah.
So then the very first comment was from someone who has Rudolph the reindeer as her profile picture. She goes, "Geez, thanks." And I'm like, I didn't say that all people with cartoons. I'm just saying the people who hate are usually cartoons.
Uh-huh.
But my original post would have offended her. My original post was going to say, "New rule: if you're incapable of taking a profile picture, you're incapable of talking shit to others."
Ay Dios,
But-
Chris. Now you're
but-
just asking for it.
But then I changed it to that instead because
I think that was a good choice.
I
Just
know.
saying.
I know.
You're so controversial. My gosh.
But anyways, well, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we were talking the language of the poor, the broke. I guess that's the same thing, poor and broke. Is that they always what if the negative? They're always like, I'm not doing this because what if I get this mean person, and what if this? It doesn't matter. That's 3 people out of, I don't know if I looked at the ad, maybe 12,000 people who saw it. The odds
I
are
wouldn't-
pretty darn good that most people appreciated it or didn't care enough to reply.
And
So
I wouldn't go with honestly the word poor. I would go with the word more of afraid, because people who are afraid to make changes in their life.
they're
Mhm.
usually
Are-
poor, Jen.
Well,
I know you're trying to be PC, but
You're not wrong.
I mean, I'm not wrong. Am I 100% right? No, but I think that just having that concept in their mind that like not they can do this, the can and the willpower. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
but hold on. Sorry, we have to make something clear. We're not saying all poor people think like that. We're just saying if you think like that, you're usually poor. I want to make it clear. So anyone who's just down on their luck right now, we're not talking necessarily about you. We're just saying, anyways, I want to put that out there.
I saw something on TikTok.
Of course.
This
you
is
do.
very profound. Okay, that's where I get most of my knowledge and quotable quotes. A guy was saying that you can tell the difference between an intelligent person and an unintelligent, not intelligent person, whatever.
Mhm.
I think I posted on my Instagram story, but the difference between an intelligent person is an intelligent person can take accountability. Somebody that's not intelligent will blame everybody else.
Mhm.
Sounds like someone familiar that. Never mind.
Thanks, man.
Nothing. 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 All right, continue on.
Yeah, so it's if you're intelligent, you can look within, you can see what needs to be changed, what you should work on. If you have faults, you know what your faults are, and you can blame, you can see what external factors there were that caused you to do what you did, but realizing what you need to do to shift from that and grow from that. On the flip side, somebody who's not intelligent blames everybody else for their where they are in life, their failures, blaming other people for what they did. Right?
Mhm.
I did this because you did that. Right? Not taking accountability, and I feel like that that works to the poor and the not poor.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we hired our guy Steven as our admin, he almost didn't get the job, and there was actually 2 people before them, and one of the people before them they were super close, but they kept on blaming other people for their circumstances in multiple interviews. Everything else was perfect, but finally, but I couldn't have that feature running my team because I need someone who's going to own their mistakes.
Mhm.
It's important for your clients to know that you own your mistakes.
Mhm.
And in the last interview, right before the last one before this person was going to get hired, I wrote a list of questions designed to see if this person would take accountability or not. Even though I knew the answer, I wanted to be sure. And sure as crap, every single thing was this happened because of this person, victim, 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 and we didn't hire that person.
Mm.
It's because if you think that way, you're never going to sit there and step back and go, okay, what can I do in my life or in my business or for the Homes by Kuzi team to make the experience better for everyone? Because based on this mistake that I made, instead you're going to go, it wasn't my fault. It was so-and-so's fault. And then you're never going to work on fixing it because you don't have to, because it was someone else's fault. And that was a big deal for me. So
Mhm.
that's a good point, Alex. So thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. I have various times I have good tidbits.
It's like his oodles and caboodles of knowledge.
Thank you, TikTok.
Oodles and caboodles. All right, let's wrap this up. I have to
Great
get
talk on
JD
real
to do a
estate.
funny video.
Hey, I feel like we were all over the place and always landed somewhere in real estate.
Yeah.
Well, if you like shows that are 8% real estate and 52% everything else,
And 100% real.
that doesn't
Well,
come to 100%.
What
That's
was that
50.
Fort Myers song?
I don't know, but your mouth is
12% discipline. Something,
Oh,
something, something.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good writing song too.
Yeah.
Like spin.
All right. So we're
Okay,
signing
sorry,
off.
Chris.
We are. I'm distracted. I'm already working. So it's 12 o'clock, and I'm working on my 12 o'clock time block right now. So while I'm doing this, all right, guys, thank you guys for being here. Please consider sharing this podcast with other people if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
See you later.